Hi, welcome to the channel, Budget Audio Review and Upgrades. Now today I'll be reviewing these Wharfedale 505.2 speakers. Now these were donated to the channel by Kevin at Ditton Works. I'm going to leave a link down there at the bottom to his channel. He does more higher market speakers than these, dearer speakers, higher budget speakers, but he does them really well. He knows a lot more about speakers than I do. Used to manufacture these speakers, used to work for Celeste and Ditton a few years ago now. He's going to give you some great insight into the speakers, who designed them, all that kind of stuff, repairs, all that kind of stuff. And it's all honest reviews. It's all honest, you know what I mean? He's not just fabricating or saying something sounds good when it doesn't. So, you're going to get a good honest review there. And a bit like my channel here as well, I'll give what my opinion is. I don't want you to waste your money, that's for certain. Even on a small budget, if you went and paid £20 for a pair of speakers and you kind of wasted it, that may be a setback for you, because not everyone's got vast amounts of money to go and buy some really expensive speakers. Some people on a right tight budget, and the old lot's going to cost them £100, and if they suddenly waste 20 or 30, well, that is a waste. They set them back, especially in today's times with everything shooting up very fast. Right, okay, back to these Wharfedale 505s. Right, at this stage I usually take these speakers apart and have a little look at what's inside, show you what's inside, show you the drivers, show you the crossover, show you the padding, show you the speaker cabinet itself, any bracing, all that kind of stuff. I know some people like looking inside, saves you taking your ones apart, or you know what you're going to get for your money. I can't do that with these speakers because this main driver here is actually screwed in, I believe. It's got about 6 notches around the side, little notches where I think a kind of spanner or something clips in and it's screwed in or unscrewed and whatever. I can't do that, I haven't got that spanner. The only way for me to get this out was actually to saw the cabinet in half or something like that. So, if you had a driver that goes in here, I think you're going to have a few problems putting a new one in. But maybe someone may know a different way, and maybe leave a comment or something down below. But so just be careful if you did get one of these and the driver's gone. You think, oh, I'll get another driver and put that in there. It's probably not going to be as easy as you think it is. You could be coming across a few problems. But the actual tweeter itself, a little bit of a different story. We've got a plastic cover here, so if your tweeter went, we'll take that cover off. It's only got a bit of glue on it, doesn't take a lot of getting off really. And we can replace the tweeter. So if we just have a little look at the tweeter there on the floor, there you can see, I've just undone them screws and flipped the tweeter, and there it is. And I can't remember what number it is there, but you can see what it is. So yeah, when you come to replace it, obviously you're going to have to clean all this glue off. It's quite tacky and that, clean it all off, level this out and stick it back on. This is a 200mm driver here. I forgot what the tweeter is actually. I should have written that down, shouldn't I? But you can see by the number on the back. Hopefully I'll write it down in the comments or something down there what it is. Okay, this is 440mm high. It's 240mm in depth, and the width is 255mm. It seems well braced, this speaker. It's quite an heavy speaker. Little tap there. Yeah, it's quite well braced, it's quite heavy, feels really solid, this speaker. Look at the back, you can see we've got the screw terminals, banana plug connections there, rated at 86 dB and 100 watts. Now onto the sound. Now I've left a little clip on YouTube, I'll leave a link at the top there. Now you may want to go and listen to these, little bit of YouTube music I've thrown in the mix there. Hopefully you get some kind of idea how they sound, and if you go and listen to that, you're going to come to the conclusion that these are nice sounding speaker. These deliver a big and lively sound, quite a sweet sounding speaker, kind of snuggled up to speaker. You're going to enjoy yourself with these speakers. You're going to feel nice and cosy listening to these with certain types of music and that. Got a few little niggles, not a lot, but overall these are nice sounding speaker. These are really nice. Just my personal preference maybe, just how I thought they sounded. The mids are nice and smooth. Well presented. The instruments and that are well presented. You know they're there. Like, I mean, when something comes to focus on an instrument, part of the track, if you listen to a bit of jazz or something like that, and it's going to focus on an instrument, this really focuses on that instrument. Really lets you know it's there, kind of thing. Not in a bad way at all, in a good way. Really sounds nice. Yeah. It's well presented, this speaker. The focus on this speaker is really spot on. The sound stage and everything, the placements and that, it's rock solid here on this speaker. It's really nice, doesn't start vaguing off anything like that. This is a rock solid sound. The sound stage is big between the two speakers, maybe just slightly goes out now and again with certain tracks and that, but basically stays in between the two speakers, but it's nice and big between them two speakers. It's well presented, it's presented to you nicely. You've got kind of like a, if you're sitting in watching a performance somewhere or something like that, you're up the front there kind of thing. You're not too far away from what's happening here with these speakers. With some other speakers they're a bit more laid back, a bit more pushed back. You're a bit more further away. With these speakers you're bang amongst the mix, and it all sounds really, really nice. Okay, everything's got some body to it with these speakers, got plenty of body to it. The piano, the sax, the guitar and all that, they all sound nice and they've got plenty of body to it, you know what I mean, plenty of body. So these do a really good job, and they really, really do sound nice. But there is just a few little niggles here on these speakers that, you know, like I say, I'm nitpicking here, just what I thought myself personally. Let's have a look. Let's go down to the bass here, just go down here to what the bass I've got here. Where are we? The dynamics on this bass is just a little bit on the soft side, I think. And when it's quite a bit going on, I think this has got a tight bass, and I think it could be just a bit too tight maybe. It just doesn't give you the full detail when a lot's going on. You just seem to just be missing a little bit when there's a lot going on kind of thing. So I'm not too sure what the reason that is there. It's just lacking just a little bit there when there's a lot going on in the bass department. Excuse me. But other than that, it sounds really nice. Just thought it was, like I say, when a lot going on, just lacking a little bit, just a little bit subdued there in the bass. Just wanted a little bit more authority to it, something like that I would have said. So that's maybe just me nitpicking, but I just felt that this is how they come across to me. And if we go up, let's have a look, just make sure. Yeah, just missing a little bit level of, you know, just missing a little bit of information there in the bass department, I think, especially when the tracks kind of get a bit more complex down there. So that's just, you know, nitpicking a bit, but it's, you know, I just felt that's how the bottom end of this come along. And it's got, you know, it's got a reasonable amount of bass, reasonable amount of bottom end and that bass drum and that. It's like when, you know, my brother still plays. When he's got the bass drum, they used to kind of like dampen that with pillars and that and etc. And I just felt it maybe just a bit over dampened, just a little tad over dampened on this speaker when the pedal and the I forgot what they call, my brother knows all this. The just not stick. What's it called? You've got the pedal. When it hits the bass drum, I just felt it was a bit. It could have just been a little bit more to it. It just seems to be quite tight, if you know what I mean. Just wanted to, you know, I remember like listening to it, and my brother used to have a setup in the room just over there, all padded out and everything. And you can kind of hear the old shell kind of thing. You know, you can kind of get all that into the sound effect kind of thing of that bass drum. And on a lot of speakers, you do hear that, but on this speaker here, I just felt it just lacked that bit of detail. So, you know, just wanted to mention that. I've gone quite into it there, I think, long-winded, but hopefully you're getting the gist of what I'm saying here. I forgot what that's called. You know, you've got the bass drum pedal. What's the actual thing it hits here? I forgot what it's called anyway. You know what I mean? It isn't a stick. It's like a round thing on a silver like aluminium pole in it. The hammer. I don't know what they call it. I forgot what it's called now. But yeah. So you know, drum wise, I've been listening to drums live, like with my brother here. Essie's videos. I've linked up a few of them there, Burke and Yates. So I do know what, you know, a live drum sounds like. And this can just hold that back a little bit. They're just lacking a little bit of detail in that live drum sound on the bass drum itself. Right, okay, now we're going to move up to the tweeter here. This tweeter on certain tracks and that, I mean, if you've got a not a very good amplifier here, I think it's going to show up with this tweeter. It's going to sound a little bit mushy. If you've got an amplifier that sounds mushy a little bit, it's going to show up with this tweeter. If you've got a really good amplifier, then it's going to sound really good, because this gives out some really, really good sound on the top end. It really, really does. It's got some level of detail there, some really, really, really nice detail in the top end. But I did find it just a little bit on the bright side, just a little bit on the bright side for me, though some people may well like that. I just found it just a little bit on the bright side. You know the tweeters there. Sometimes you listen to a bit of music and you're not kind of like drawing attention, you just, you know, listening away on that. But I think, you know, just now and again on a few tracks, your attention gets drawn to the tweeter. You kind of like don't forget it's there kind of thing. It's just my, you know, I'm nitpicking. Don't forget I'm sitting here and I'm listening in and I'm concentrating and I'm, you know, being very critical and all that kind of stuff. You're not going to do that. You're just going to sit back and relax. But, you know, just for me, listening as I did intently, I just was drawn to the tweeter on certain tracks where the track was a bit bright and that, and it, you know, the tweak a bit, I thought just a tad on the bright side as well, a little bit more present there, not forced upon you, but just a little bit present, that it kind of like, oh, there's the tweeter again kind of thing. But that's maybe just me, but just wanted to point that out. You know, while these speakers sound really, really nice, and there's no speaker probably at this kind of price range, it's going to sound absolutely fantastic, nothing wrong with it. If I'm going to pick out a few little nitpicks, they're going to be the two. Lack of definition in the bass, especially when the track gets a bit busy. And the tweeter, maybe just being a bit present, a little bit tad on the bright side, but that's just my personal opinion. Like I say, that track is there, that I've uploaded, given these a demo, and it comes across really nice. And these are nice sounding speakers, and I do recommend these speakers. You're not going to pay a lot of money for these. These go for about £40–50 on eBay, somewhere around there. And if you're going to go and pick up a pair locally, I think I see some recently for about £20–25 here in the UK. Getting a lot of speaker for your money for £50 or £60. You're getting a nice set, well-made speakers here. So, you know, I definitely recommend these. So that's it. Hopefully you've got some kind of idea how these actually sound. I went into it a bit too far, I don't know. But hopefully you've got some kind of idea how these sound anyway, out of all that. And it's just a shame I couldn't take them fully apart and show you what's inside. So just bear that in mind sometimes. If you're buying a pair of speakers, most of them, what I said, 99% of them, you're going to get to all the bits and be able to change them. But now and again, you're going to come across something like this, which is a bit more tricky, and you may need a spanner or something like that to get in there and do the repairs. Anyway, if anyone's got any suggestions how to get this bass speaker off, apart from a saw, then they're welcome in the bottom, and I'll give them a try. Okay, so until the next video, I'll say thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon.